and then we can get started. Yeah, guys. So let's get started. So I am your trainer, and basically I will be giving you training, and we can just have an overview that what will. Hey Kumar, can you be on mute? Yeah. So
yes, I'll be on mute.
Yeah. So let me just give you an overview. So what will be the training and how it will proceed and everything. And let me give you my background. So I have total like 7 years of experience, and I'm into trainings from last 3 to 4 years. And I basically take care of big data and Hadoop courses along with Spark in SSIT Software Online Training sessions. So what will be this training and what will be the duration? So let's have an overview for this. So this will be a 50 days training session, and it will be daily 1 hour, which will be Monday to Friday. And what we will be covering is, so we will be starting with very basics of a databases, that how it all started and how we started working with databases, MS SQL. So very basics, few days will be for that. Then if you are basically very new to data engineering, So you will learn all the basic concepts of data engineering. Let's say if you came from any different background, so then also this training will be beneficial because we will start from very basics, Linux, then we will move to MS SQL, and then finally we will move to Hadoop and Spark. If you are already like working and if you are already a data engineer, but just want to learn Hadoop and Spark, so then also like this training will be beneficial. And how we will start? So this courses or this modules will be the basic one. This first few modules, this one.
I have a quick question.
Yeah, definitely.
So this is more what is the difference between data engineering and Hadoop development? So are they two different subjects?
Yeah, so basically in data engineering, so for data engineering stack, sometimes you are needed to work on different databases. It can be MS SQL, it can be DB2, it can be SAP HANA, it can be Hadoop, it can be Spark. So basically Hadoop and Spark are big data technologies. So they will be used to manage your big data. Whereas like other databases like MS SQL or DB2, so they will be used to store a limited amount of data. But if you have petabytes of data or terabytes of data, then we will be using big data and Spark. So this is the major difference. And we will be covering that in our second module.
Okay, okay.
All the differences.
So the person who wants to go with Hadoop development, I think this is not the right course, right?
No, it is not like that. So this course is completely for Hadoop development only. But like if majority of the students only want Hadoop development, then we can just like take maybe a day or two for just revising the concepts, and then we will just directly move to Hadoop and Spark. So if you see like from the third module only, it is everything is Hadoop and it is Spark.
Yeah, but like you like I know you can change it, but I just want to make sure because the data engineering and Hadoop development is two different subjects, right? So if the candidate wants to Hadoop development, maybe this will be altogether different training, right? So
Yeah, so this training is just for big data engineering. It is not
okay,
for
okay,
just data engineering.
Hadoop.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is just for Hadoop development. So I will not go to like MS SQL or SAP HANA. So this is like if you just see, I think there's a spelling mistake. So it is just big data engineering.
Okay, okay.
So my voice is audible, right? Like I see a chat that someone is saying. Yeah. So the main training begins from module 3, which is from here. So in beginning, we are just discussing the cloud, like how can we integrate or how can we work with Hadoop on HD Insights, or how can we work with Hadoop on AWS. So that basic is needed, maybe 1 or 2 sessions. And the real training will start from big data engineering from module 3, where we will be just discussing like why Hadoop, like we already had so many databases, then why we have moved to Hadoop, and what is the current marking trend, what is the current market trend in Hadoop, because I am in this industry from last 7 years. So I know like 5 years back we used to work on Hadoop differently, and today it is a completely a different scenario. So you will just see what is trending in the market and what we have to work on. So we will start with basically Hadoop ecosystem. We will move to Hive. We will move to HBase. So from the basics to advanced Hadoop, you will be learning that. And so this third module will be completely clear up all your concepts that why we have moved to Hadoop from data engineering and why it is needed and how to practically work on it. So this training is not just theoretical. So maybe after 2 sessions, we will have an online a cluster of �IT where you guys can practice it. And after each module, I will be giving you an assignment which you have to complete it by yourself. And there will be projects, 5 projects, which you have to complete it. And that will be like industry level projects, where I will be giving you a problem and you have to design the solution. And so basically in Hadoop, we have different tech stacks. We have Hive, we have HBase, we have Impala, we have then Spark SQL, we have Spark Streaming, we have Kafka. So you will be given a problem which you have to solve using Hive, using Impala, using HBase and different tags. So that at the end of the training, you will be ready with a practical model working or with a practical project working, so that you can present it in your interviews also. And this is not just theoretical training. After covering this basics, we will move to Spark, and the cluster will be same. So you will be given one cluster, which will be �IT training box. There you can practice big data, all the text, and Spark, you can practice it. And all the assignments that will be given, you have to complete it there. So we will be discussing RDDs, data frames. Then we will move to Spark Streaming, then Spark mlibs. Then what are the best practices, or what are the issues that we face on daily basis, or what are the issues that you will be facing when you will start working on a big data or Spark. So this will be something. And these are just like projects on different domains that we will be covering. So any questions about the training, that how we will proceed, and any doubts? Any questions, anyone? That what will be the mode of training, and how you will be learning, or what exactly you want to learn, right? Because if you are joining this training, you must be having some goals that you want to learn this, and this, or you must be having something in your mind, right? So you can openly ask that, so that I can answer that you will be achieving that in this training or
not. Hello. Will you be covering Azure or AWS?
Yeah, I think. Yeah. So this is completely a big data engineering course, and it is not like a cloud course, but we will be covering the basics of cloud. Because today, like in market, if you go to any company, they all are having projects which includes cloud. Some are working on AWS, some are working on Azure. So we will be here covering Azure HD Insights.
Okay.
The reason being, so you can basically sign up your own free Azure HD Insights cluster, and you can just practice and play with it. But for AWS, that will be chargeable. So basically there you have EMR. In Azure, you have Azure HD Insights. So we will be covering one, which is Azure HD Insights. Any other questions? Any questions, like if you want to know, if you just want to focus on some particular tech stack, or if you just want to join the training for some like limited number of modules, you can just ask that. So just want to know your background, so that I can also be like sure that this training will be right for you. So can we start with Dinesh? Like, what is your background and what do you want from this training?
Hi. I'm actually currently doing a master's. I have little knowledge on Hadoop and Azure Data Fund. I have taken some certifications like Azure Fundamentals and Data Fundamentals. So I wanted to work on Spark and Azure Data Factory. I wanted to be a data engineer. So that's what I'm looking at.
Thank you, Dinesh. So yeah, so we will be covering Spark and ADF will also be covered. Like when we will be covering Azure. So we will be
Okay.
going through ADFs, that how we can push data to Hadoop using ADFs. So that will be covered. And it will be like you will be given assignments and like every weekend or after covering every module, you will be given assignments that you have to complete it. So
Okay.
yeah, can we go with you, Chaitanya? Like what you are looking from this training?
Actually, like 2 or 3 students are like in a particular different work, so that they can't speak right now. Actually, we all are students doing masters from same university. So some of them are in classes right now, and one of them are doing assignment. Like they're listening to the session, I can assure you that, but they can't speak because of they're in the like in between the class.
Oh, okay, I get it. So at least I got to know. So basically you are master students, right?
Yeah,
Hello.
everybody's like everybody's like different field. I am from computer science. One is from data engineering, like different modules, but we all are master students.
All right. Thank you, Kiran.
So I have a question. Actually, so I'm from mechanical background. I finished my master's in 2021. And so
Okay.
since September of last year, I've been working in a medical company device as a quality engineer. And so this July, I lost the job because the FDA banned the product they were making. So I was working with a consultancy, and so I lost my job. So they couldn't find me a job, since July till now. So that's why I'm like converting. So like I have no idea, in IT field like what goes on or anything. So I'm like trying to figure out what Hadoop or anything is, like Hadoop is a name of a company or some system or anything. So that's why I joined this.
Okay, I get it. Yeah. So no worries. Like, so this training is designed basically like if you are not into IT, so then also we will be starting with Linux and everything. And just to give you an introduction, so Hadoop is basically a solution to a problem. So the problem is big data. So like the problem is big data. It was very difficult to manage terabytes and petabytes of data. So Hadoop is just a solution which solves the problem of big data. And we have Cloudera as a service provider, and we have Hortonworks as a service provider, and we have Mapr as a service provider. So it is just a solution to solve the problem of big data. So that is, I can tell you, and there are different layers in it to process the data, then to automate the data pipelines, then to manage the cluster we have yarn. So we will study that. So it is not very difficult. It is just having 8 to 9 tech stacks and 5 layers. So it has a storage layer, it has a processing layer, it has a management layer, and it has a automation layer. So after studying these 5 layers, you will be basically creating your first big data pipeline. And the same pipeline, we will be doing it with Spark. And Spark is the advanced technology for solving the problem of big data. And it is said it is 100 times faster in this training. And in this training, like we will prove that how Spark is 100 times faster in processing than Hadoop.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I think like if you are all in a class, then like I have just covered the course outline, which we will be covering. So that starts from Linux, and that ends with the Spark Advanced. Now coming to the language which we will be using, or what are the programming languages that we will need to cover this training is. So prerequisite is you should just know, basically you should just have a system with at least a 4 GB of RAM. And next is programming languages also, like we will do the very basics. So for starting with Hadoop, we just need Linux. And that we will be covering what all commands that we need. So one is Linux that we will need for Hadoop. Then we will move to Hive in Hadoop. For Hive, we should know basics of MS SQL. That also we will cover if you don't know that. So in the second module, we have basics of MS SQL that we will be covering. And if we will go to the next one, what all programming languages you will need. So first is Linux, you should be at least have the basic understanding. Next is MS SQL basic understanding, because once you will have the MS SQL understanding, you will be able to write Hive QLs and Hive pipelines. And third, we will be using 𝐬𝐬𝐬. So 𝐬𝐬𝐬 is basically to automate the big data pipeline. So let's say you created a Hive query and you want to automate it. You want to create a big level a deployment for a banking client. So then you have to use 𝐬𝐬𝐬. And for 𝐬𝐬𝐬, you should just have basic understanding of XML. If you do not have that, so like we will go through it. So all these are like very easy stuffs. So after we have covered Hadoop, then we will move to Spark. So for Spark, Spark Scala and PySpark, both are similar. It is a small syntax difference. So we will be covering both. And majorly we will cover like Scala Spark. But PySpark is also similar. So we can cover both if you want. And for this, you don't need like complete programming language. If you do not know Scala, then that is fine. If you don't know Python, that is fine. Because for Spark, it is very limited. It is limited used. Only 10% of the programming language will be used, and rest 90% will be Spark functions. So that we will go through that. And basically, like these days, we are using Spark data frames and Spark basically streaming in the market. Like Spark data frames and Spark streaming is mostly used. So that also we will be doing it in Spark Scala. And that's it. I think you don't need any other big technology to learn like all this. So basically this training will give you skills of Hadoop and Spark. The training is designed to make you a big data Hadoop and Spark developer. And this starting modules and ending modules are just like basics into Linux, MS SQL, and machine learning. But most of the 90% of the training will help you to get trained in Hadoop and Spark. So this is the one, and there is one 𝐕𝐢𝐻 cluster, which I will be giving it to you once you join the training, and there you can practice whatever we will be teaching it. So it is not just that I will be going through this command, it will be practical. Whatever I will be teaching, next day you have to complete that, and every weekend you will be given an assignment that you have to upload it, and we will be checking that. Let me know like if there are any other questions from anyone. So only thing which I can promise you is it will be an interesting journey and it will be an interesting training, and you will be very curious to know the stuffs that how everything is working in the basically industries and how everyone, because we currently at the industry level are working on a large scale deployments, majorly on Spark SQL, Spark streaming, and basically on Spark Kafka. So you will be learning that how actually this big clients, what they are doing currently on big data. So this is not just a training, but basically a practical cookbook, which will like help you to gain the practical knowledge more. So that's it. Like if there are any other questions, I am open to answer that.
So if you don't mind, can you kindly share that Word file?
Okay, this one.
Yes, like what?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So that we can go through it and plan accordingly what's happening.
Yeah, definitely. So I will share it. We will just close the call and I will share it right away after this call. And you can just get in touch with Satish further. Thank you for your time.